Welcome to RotoWire TV. I'm Heather Ankeny. He's the expert, Chris Liss, answering our fantasy football and baseball questions. I have a fantasy baseball question for you. It's a little bit of a newbie question, so...
Just spit it out.
You can make fun of me. I'm allowing you to make fun of me for this question.
Okay.
It's my first year playing fantasy baseball, and I came up for the first time, actually, but I paid attention, I guess. My second baseman, I only have one. And based on what we talked about on the second half of the season, really just watching your stat categories, is it better for me to get a bad matchup today? Is it better for me to have an empty second base spot or play a guy that doesn't have a great matchup?
If it's a hitter, always play the guy. Sometimes with the pitcher, since there's ERA and WHIP, can be two negative categories. You can sit somebody out if they're in New York against the Yankees, they're in Coors Field against the Rockies. Fine, sit your pitcher if he's not a total superstar. But with a regular position player, in most leagues, there's only one negative category, is batting average. Everything else, runs, RBIs, home runs, steals, are positive. And so you almost always want to play a guy getting at bats, no matter who the pitcher is, rather than sitting him. Now, your league's a little weird because you have so many averaging categories. You have average, slugging, on-base percentage. And so like an 0 for 4 can hurt all three of those things. So you can actually get three negatives, and then you get your positives like stolen bases and runs and everything else. But even in that case, a hitter's not going to hurt you that badly. He goes 0 for 4. Okay, it's just 4 bats. It's not like a pitcher who can pitch like 4 innings and give up 9 or 10 runs.
Wait, so there are basically leagues I could be in that are a lot more fun than the one I'm in?
Yeah, no, yours isn't necessarily less fun. It's just so complex.
It's intense.
It's so complex that there's not a lot of material out there, kind of geared exactly toward your league. You'd have to play in it for a few years to understand who's a little bit more valuable in your league versus a regular league, and the sort of quirks and tricks to like get ahead and get an advantage. But it doesn't make it less fun. It just means it's just a very weird league. It's not a very common league.
Okay. So always pretty much start Dan Uggla, who's great.
Dan Uggla, start him. I mean, he's a batting average liability, but otherwise he's good. Especially in your league, slugging on base.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, Chris. This is RotoWire TV.